Free Owino, KTN.
In a story highlighting scramble for senior schools, the placement of candidates who sat for this year's Kenya Junior School Education Assessment, KJSEA, is scheduled to begin next week, according to Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba. The CS says the placement exercise will be completed by 20th December 2025, and as Catherine Imuraget reports, grade 10 learners will be expected to report to their respective senior schools starting 12th January 2025.
According to the Ministry of Education, the placement exercise will be fast-tracked to ensure all learners transitioning to senior schools know their respective institutions by next week. These accelerated timelines is part of the government's effort to guarantee a smooth shift into the senior schools phase under the competency-based education structure.
The placement exercise will start next week and is expected to be completed by the 20th of December 2025. Grade 10 learners will be expected to report to their respective senior schools starting from the 12th of January 2025.
Students will be placed to senior schools based on their performances in selected pathway, that is arts and sports science, social sciences or STEM. The assessment of learners at grade 9 shall comprise 20% from the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment, 20% from school-based assessment in grades 7 and 8, and 60% summative evaluation at grade 9. Once placed, students will have slightly over a week to prepare before reporting to their assigned senior schools on January 12, 2026. The ministry has reassured the public that the placement process will be fair, transparent, and based on learners' performance, choices, and available capacity in senior schools across the country.
By next week, also students should have known where they have been placed, after which we shall have a 5 days window for revision if they want to revise, based on maybe changing preferences, consultations with parents and relatives and so on. We shall give them a room of 5 days.
Over the last few years, the placement issue has been a nightmare after nearly half of senior schools were completely snubbed in the national selection. Out of 9,750 schools designated to host senior secondary classes, 5,000 had 0 applicants. Most of the ignored institutions are day schools. Classification of schools is now under the new Cluster 1 to Cluster 4 system, which replicates the previous classification that ranked schools in 4 categories from national to sub-county. Cluster 1 schools, the so-called national schools, will take the top students from each sub-county, while Cluster 4 is mostly sub-county and day schools. Cluster 2 schools are extra county schools and Cluster 3 are the current county schools. The ministry says the labels have simply been renamed, not reformed.
The government will continue to provide capitation at the approved rate of 22,244 per learner per year in senior school.
Catherine Imuraget, KTN, Nairobi.
And with tensions and conflicts between the Law Society of